started shelling. And human rights activists and civil society leaders have called on Kenyans to turn out in large numbers for peaceful Sabasaba demonstrations with a march to Parliament planned to protest alleged enforced disappearances and extrajudicial killings. The organizers also urged residents in other parts of the country to hold peaceful demonstrations, emphasizing the need to remain law-abiding and maintain calm throughout the protest. They accused the government of allegedly planning to disrupt the demonstrations and warned that the Inspector General of Police would be held accountable should there be any violence or violations of the rights of peaceful protest.
In honor of those who fought for democratic reforms, we will conduct a peaceful procession to Parliament to present a petition calling for urgent parliamentary action to end extrajudicial killings, enforce disappearances, strengthen accountability within security agencies, uphold constitutional rights, and address the governance failure that continue to deepen economic suffering.
As we marshal this cause of the third liberation of this nation, we want tomorrow to take a petition to Parliament, not just because of police brutality and extrajudicial killing, but we want to take this cause further so that we can have a nation that everyone can enjoy living in.
In any event, should they doubt, we did present that notification last Thursday, so they have it. So we expect tomorrow they will come, they will provide security to us. So any officer who will be operating outside the law will be held accountable personally.
Now, 4 suspected armed robbers were shot dead, while 2 others escaped following a fierce gun battle with police in Eldoret town, Uasin Gishu County, in the early hours of Monday. Now, police said the confrontation occurred along the Eldoret-Kiplombe Road after the suspects were allegedly involved in robberies targeting residents in the Uasin Gishu County. Police Commander Wilberforce Sisharani said the suspects were dressed in military uniforms while carrying out their criminal activities, a move believed to have been intended to deceive members of the public. Investigators believe that the group was part of a notorious criminal gang that has been terrorizing residents in Kitale, Kapenguria, Nandi, and Marakwet through a series of armed robberies.
Kwamba mkiona mtu akiwa na jeraha, huenda ikawa ni wale waliotoroka. Hawa watu 6 wameangaisha mji huu wa Eldoret, wameenda paka kule Nakuru, wameenda paka kule Kitale, Trans Nzoia, wameenda juzi paka Elgeyo Marakwet, lakini siku zao zilikuwa zimehesabika.
Now, moving on to matters politics, a section of Mulembe community leaders have endorsed Nairobi Senator Edwin Sifuna as their preferred presidential candidate for the 2027 election, marking an early political realignment ahead of the next poll. The decision was reached during a high-level strategy meeting that lasted about 10 hours and was hosted at the home of Trans Nzoia Governor George Natembeya in Kitale. The meeting was attended by several influential Western and Kenya leaders, including Vihiga Senator Godfrey Otsotsi, Bomula Member of Parliament Jack Wamboka, and Kabuchai Member of Parliament Majimbo Kalasinga, Busia County Assembly Speaker Frederick Odilo, and other County Assembly representatives from the region. Addressing the media after the meeting, Governor Natembeya said the leaders had unanimously agreed to back Sifuna's presidential ambition, adding that they would soon launch a political movement to support his campaign.
Kama watu wa Western Province, tunaunga Edwin Watenya Sifuna kwa rais wa 6 wa Jamhuri ya Kenya. Hapo tumekubaliana? Mumekubaliana?
Tumesema safari ya kwenda Ikulu imeanzia hapa kwa boma ya Mheshimiwa Gavana Natembeya. Moshi ya 3 inasema iko chama inakuja.
Sasa Bungoma ndiyo itakuwa mahali pa mwisho. Na hapo ndio sasa wazee wetu pia watatoa baraka zao wakati safari inaanza. Si hapo ni sawa sawa?
Mimi sitawaangusha. Mimi sitawaangusha. Wakati ambapo wakati ambapo uko na watu serious kama hawa wamewacha kazi zao wakae na sisi tuzungumze mambo ya nchi, hawezi kuangusha hawa watu wazito wamekaa hapa. Mheshimiwa Natembeya, asante sana, Mungu akubariki, na mimi sitakuangusha hata siku moja.
Right, still on matters politics, a section of Rift Valley leaders allied to President William Ruto has endorsed National Assembly Speaker Moses Wetangula as their preferred presidential candidate for 2032 general election, saying he is well placed to succeed the president after the completion of his 2 constitutional terms. The declaration was made during a fundraising event in Aldai constituency, that is in Nandi County, where the leaders led by Nandi Governor Stephen Sang and Tinderet Member of Parliament Julius Meli praised Wetangula for his role in the President Ruto's 2022 election victory and his continued support for the Kenya Kwanza administration. Governor Sang said Wetangula's contribution to President Ruto's rise to power remains a significant part of Kenya's political history, while also commending his leadership of the National Assembly, describing him as one of the country's most effective speakers since independence.
Mimi nakushukuru spika wetu kwa sababu wewe ulipoamua kuunga mkono rais, hapo ndio sisi tulipata kupita kura. Kura hii na urais ya William Ruto haiwezi andikwa historia kwamba Rais William Ruto alichaguliwa bila mkono ya ndugu yetu Speaker wa National Assembly, Speaker wetu Wetangula. We have had many speakers in the National Assembly. I am sure the record of Speaker National Assembly Moses Wetangula speaks for itself. Tunapozungumza, this is the best rated National Assembly ikiongozwa na speaker ambaye amevunja rekodi as the best presider na speaker wa National Assembly.
Nawaeleza hivyo kwa sababu hata tunapoenda 2027 speaker wetu tuko pamoja, mkono yake ako hapa, au namna gani? Na 2032 Mwenyezi Mungu anajua, au namna gani?
Tunataka kushukuru na tukuamini sana. Wewe kwama hapo kwa William Samoei Ruto. Kwama kama kupe. Hata akutume wapi wewe enda. Kwama hapo. Mnaambia akwame hapo. Akwame hapo. Wewe kwama hapo kwa sababu uko mbele sisi tunakuangalia. 2032. 2032. Nirudie 20. Tunataka wewe usimame kiti ya huko juu na hawa Waluhya wote tuungane kuanzia huku mpaka Trans Nzoia mpaka Vihiga, tukushike mkono. Mnasema namna gani? Mtamshika mkono?
Tunawaomba, tunawainamira watu wa Nandi, Rift Valley, uongozi kutoka hapa siingia hapa Western. Mtatusaidia? Mtatusaidia? Na mnataka sisi tusaidie? Basi asante.
Now, DCP party leader Rigathi Gachagua has rejected President William Ruto's claim that he won support in the Mount Kenya region during the 2022 general election through his own direct campaigning, insisting that he personally played a major role in delivering the votes. Speaking at his home in presence of local grassroots leaders, Gachagua said he was central to President Ruto's campaign efforts, stating that he helped build political influence and mobilize strong support across the Mount Kenya region. He further claimed that political sentiments in the region has shifted since his removal from the government, saying that many residents have reconsidered their support for the president due to changing political dynamics.
Sasa ukijigamba pale Embu ati wewe ulijilete. Siku nilikuwa naleta wewe mlimani, huku unatumia pesa, ulikuwa watu wanakukaribisha, wanakupigia ngemi, wanafurahi, unaongea, unaenda. Tangu nitoke, ukija mlimani lazima ulipe watu ndio wakusikize. Si ndio? Hata pale jana Embu uliongea na watu wamenyamaza, ukasema utawapanga, wakapiga makofi. Wewe sasa ujue siku nilikulete ulikuwa unasikizwa bila kutoa pesa. Sasa uhusiano yako na watu ya mlimani ni ya biashara. It is a transactional relationship. Hakuna mtu hapa hata kuunga mkono hata ukitoa pesa. Na mimi ningetaka ukue na nafasi ukifikiria. Uangalie Moi 1992 97. Alikuwa anazunguka hapa na pesa, kura ikihesabiwa hakuna. Uangalie hapa Mathira, uangalie Udhaya, uangalie kila pahali, uone vile ilikuwa.
Now, away from matters politics, health services in Kenya are facing a major threat of disruption after health sector unions issued a 14-day strike notice starting today, escalating tensions over the status of universal health coverage, that is UHC, I beg your pardon, workers. The union are demanding that the government permanently employs 7,600 UHC health workers under terms that include full salary structures and pension benefits. They accuse both county governments and the Council of Governors of failing to implement the transition process despite allocation of funds by Parliament. Union leaders say the delay has left health workers in job insecurity and uncertainty, with many contracts having already lapsed without clear employment terms or proper public service protection.
This strike notice is not going to be for UHC alone. All our members working in public health facilities in this country will join the UHC on strike. And we will be on strike until such a day the transition shall have been fully implemented and UHC given appointment letters by their respective county public service boards.
From here, we're going to serve the strike notice, and it's not just going to end by the strike notice alone. We have also activated all our teams in respective counties, comrades power, and that we are saying that we are actually going to have demonstrations on a weekly basis. We need them to come here. We are going to pitch camp at the Ministry of Health headquarters and ensure that our colleagues, the UHC colleagues, receive their PNP.
Now, social media activist Halima Ngache, popularly known as Princess Halima, has been released on bail after being arrested over allegations of posting content on social media that traced flight movements of President William Ruto. Her release comes as the case continues to draw wide public attention and spark debate over digital freedom of expression and the legal limits of online content in Kenya. Ngache is expected to return to court for further legal proceedings, with authorities indicating that investigations into the matter are still ongoing. Her supporters and human rights advocates have questioned her arrest, arguing that it raises concerns about freedom of speech and the application of cybercrime laws.
From Mombasa to Nairobi was so ghafla, sikutegemea, surrounded by men with my K-47. So I thought maybe that's the end of me. Maybe that's the end I was going to see my kid. But again, I'm so traumatized. As someone who pulls myself out of depression and anxiety, I'm back to square one because now I'm living in fear, so much trauma. But I'm a strong woman. I pull out even from this one. So yeah, thank you Kenyans for standing by me.
Now, still in the corridors of justice, the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, that is the EACC, has announced plans to recover 1.5 billion Kenya shillings paid out in the controversial Ruaraka land scandal following a Court of Appeal decision upholding an earlier ruling that declared the payment unlawful. The commission said the move follows an appellate court's decision to uphold the Environment and Land Court judgment, which found that the payment made to Afrison Export Import Limited and Hewlands Limited was illegal. EACC further revealed that investigations into the possible criminal liability of public officers and other individuals who facilitated the transaction have been completed. Now, the case file was submitted to the Director of Public Prosecutions last year, but action was to put on hold pending the outcome of the appeal. With the appeal now concluded, the Commission says it will resubmit the file to the DPP for review and possible prosecution of those found responsible for the transaction. Now, the university's academic staff union, that is WASU, has strongly condemned the management of Moi University over alleged remarks describing academic staff as vimelea, terming the statement degrading, unprofessional, and damaging to the dignity of the teaching profession. Now, the union said the comments have demoralized lecturers and worsened existing tensions between staff and management. It has now demanded a public apology and called on the university leadership to respect the rights of human dignity of employees. Was wonder that such statements could negatively affect working conditions, teaching quality, and ongoing efforts to restore stability within the institution. The row comes at a time when the Moi University is struggling with a series of challenges, including financial constraints, delayed salary payments, rising debts, and uncertainty over the future delivery of academic services.
University takes exception to the language and tone of the acting Vice Chancellor and members of his acting management team to refer to lecturers, the people responsible for the implementation of academic programs and related activities, as parasites. This is the most unfortunate, uninformed, and irresponsible statement to come from a manager of an institution of higher learning. University academic staff demand an apology from the acting Vice Chancellor and his team of acting managers. They cannot be parasites. They have served Moi University dedicatedly. Some of them have just come a few months. And now you refer to the people who have been running programs here as parasites.
The other day, we wrote a letter to council, and we saw them saying that we had been paid our arrears of 2017. They don't even understand what is happening in Moi University. We had an underpayment of salary where other universities were being paid diagonal and we were being paid horizontal. We were having underpayment of salaries, which has accumulated to 1.25 billion. So instead of them listening, getting to know...
Alright, now let's get sporty. And Junior Starlets have returned home in high spirits after commanding 2-0 victory over South Africa's Botswana in the first leg of the final qualifying round of the FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup, moving one step closer to securing a place at the tournament in Morocco. Now, speaking upon the team's arrival at Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, FKF General Secretary and CEO Dennis Gisheru praised the players for their impressive display, saying the result reflected thorough planning, discipline, and quality preparation. Gisheru described the team's attractive style of play as a source of national pride and urged Kenyans to turn out in large numbers for the decisive return leg or at National Stadium this Sunday to cheer the Starlets as they seek to qualify for their second consecutive FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup.
Now we are coming back for the final phase. I think it's important for us to prepare well. We are rallying behind all the fans to come on Sunday and support the team. It's the final phase before we go for Under-17 World Cup in Morocco later in the year. We recently participated in the Sakafa tournament. We are using that tournament as a precursor for this phase of the qualifiers. So I think we've given them proper support. We want to also thank the government for what they are doing in terms of supporting our national teams. But I think we can still do better as we move forward to keep the team motivated for Sunday and of course for Morocco later in the year.
The win is out of good preparation. The girls have been in camp for quite some time, and as I can confidently say, we have a very good technical bench that has kept the girls together. The federation has really supported the girls, led by the president himself, Hussein Mohammed. Just the other day he motivated the girls with some cash. And also the federation has done a lot in terms of ensuring that the team gets the best in terms of preparation. And I can say we are only one step away from the World Cup, and the team needs a lot of support from Kenyans, especially I'll call upon Kenyans this coming Sunday, to come and support the girls and ensure that that 12th person will help us a lot, push so that we ensure that we qualify for the World Cup. Right now I can say we're only 90 minutes away from the World Cup. But I can say the girls, this is the future of women football. Most of them, I think, within a short time will be able to fit into the senior starlets team.
Well, that story wraps up our program here on EBN Prime Edition. Thank you so much for being part of this particular broadcast. I believe that you know up to speed, whatever that is has been making headlines from across our 47 counties, of course, in the world of sports. Of course, you will remember that you know the World Cup is actually ongoing. Of course, that's as well. We will be bringing you up to speed in regards to the results, and of course, which teams actually qualify for the quarterfinals, semi-finals, of course, the finals, and at last the winners of that particular matches. Right, so stick around at Keep It EBN Television. Of course, on behalf of the entire team that made this particular broadcast a success, nasema asante sana. Do have yourself a lovely night. Of course, tomorrow, as the activists, you know, went on to the police to announce that tomorrow, being the 7th day in the 7th month of 2026, that is Sabasaba marches. Of course, they told the police, or that they notified the police that they will be, you know, be marching to Parliament buildings to what they term as, you know, extrajudicial killings and abductions in the country. So stay safe. All right. My name is Martin Macharia. I was joined by Alfred Mwangi on this particular broadcast on the sign language interpretation. Have yourself a good night. God bless. And as always, let's do this again when God says we do.
You are watching EBN TV, transforming your world. You are watching EBN TV, transforming it.
The scripture says